Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's your girl, Dr. Ify, and this is The Hub. The Hub is a meeting place for Black African immigrants in diaspora. The Hub is where we interact, share ideas, and address our problems, and generally have fun. So, are you an African? Are you Black? Are you an immigrant in the diaspora? Are you intending to migrate or japa, as we call it in our local parlance in Nigeria? Then this channel is for you. You're welcome. So let's dig in. The title of today's short talk is Factors to Consider Before You Start Your Job Hunt as a New Immigrant in the Diaspora. Or you've been in the diaspora for a while, you want a job change, or you've been searching for a job. So this title is for you. So one of the first things a newly landed immigrant has on his mind when he comes in is how to get a job in his new country. So he has landed. You have to get accommodation, all right? And you're an Airbnb, already have an accommodation. You spent money doing that. You are furnishing your house practically from the scratch. There's only so much the airlines you can bring in with the baggage allowances on our airlines. So you're actually furnishing your house from the scratch. You're spending money. You've gotten the phone bills are coming in, the power bills are coming in, the water bills are coming in. These bills are not waiting for you. So the proof of funds you brought to the country, that's plenty dollars you thought you brought in, is going down fast. So the one thing on your mind is how to get a job to begin to replenish your resources. So bottom line, you need a job. So this video will examine factors that will speed up your success in this endeavor as an immigrant living abroad. So let's start in. The first thing you need to do is to get your qualifications recognized. So you will see that if you are from many African countries, your qualifications are not accepted as face value. They will need to be evaluated. Okay, these certificates will be subjected to verifications called educational credential assessments. This, or ECA for short. So ECA is when the degree you acquired in your country is evaluated for equivalency to the Canadian or Australian or UK or American education. All right. So examples of the many services, many organizations that provide these services abroad. The common ones that are commonly used in many African countries, including Nigeria. You have the West World Educational Services. You have ICAS, International Qualification Assessment Services, and the evaluations are accepted in many countries like Canada, US, Australia, UK. So you will need to send your certificates to these accreditation bodies for evaluation. For regulated professions such as medicine, pharmacy, architecture, etc., there are different licensing bodies responsible for the evaluation of these certificates, such as the Medical Council of Canada. You have the Pharmacy Examining Board of Canada. You also have the Canadian Architectural Certification Board. A quick Google search of WES or ICAS or MCC will show you and reveal to you the step-by-step processes involved in getting your foreign credentials assessed for immigration, for education, or for employment. It's good to know at this point that immigration will normally require you to do some educational credential assessment before you come in, right? And usually those assessments are usually like global assessments. You can use them to get you can use them to get jobs, all right? Use them for immigration. But when it comes to education, you may need to do further assessment of your credentials, known as the course-by-course assessments. All right, that's a point for you to note. Another point you need to consider when you're looking for a job, or before you start looking for a job in your new country, is the English language proficiency. English language proficiency. So for you to qualify for jobs in English-speaking countries like Canada, UK, US, Australia, etc., an English language proficiency assessment usually will be required. So meeting English language requirement is not usually a problem for English-speaking African countries. I mean, we had all our education from nursery school through secondary to university and all of that, you've been teaching in English, you've been speaking English. So English language proficiency to land jobs is not usually a problem for English speaking African countries. There are some French language requirements proficiency may be required for some provinces in Canada. Okay, like Quebec, the Quebec province where French is the language usually spoken, may require French language proficiency. Also, there are some jobs that require being speaking English and French to do those jobs, and so those jobs will be requiring French language proficiency as well. Now, before I go any further, if you like the insights on this channel, you can take a second to like, share, and subscribe. Additionally, press the notification bell so that you're notified whenever I make a new video on this channel. Have you done so? I'll wait. Take a second. Thank you. So we'll continue. Another factor that affects your job search is resume and cover letter adaptation. So we discovered that the resumes, the CVs, curriculum vitae, is more of what we call it in Nigeria, curriculum vitae. You discover that your CV, the way we write our CVs for job search in the countries we are coming from may be different from your new country. So you need to adapt and change your CV to meet the requirements of your new country. For things like biodata, age, gender, birthday, and all those kind of the number of children you have, married or not married, they're not important at all in resumes you're going to be writing in Canada for Canadian job markets. So you need to find out the requirements of resumes, what you need to put on the resumes in your new country. Usually, you should condense your long Nigerian curriculum vitae into 1.5, maximum 2 pages of resume for your job search in Canada, for instance. And you'll be focusing on such subheadings as your experiences, right? Where you have worked, the experiences you acquired, the skill sets that you have, and where you schooled and the dates of your education. That is all. You must also provide your references. That's very important because over here your references will be checked. So if someone is going to someone is going to invite you for an interview and you do that interview, the next thing is to call up your references. So you discover that if you are new in these places, you may not have prior work experience in Canada, so your references can't be from where you are coming from Nigeria, for instance. You just need to include their email addresses so they can be contacted via email. Also, your references can also include some new contacts you have made in your new country. Even if they are not job contacts, they're not job contacts, you can also include those in your references, and those will be checked as well. So the fourth factor you need to consider before you start your job hunt in your new place is job market research for market trends and in-demand occupations. So you will need to do your research to determine market trends. What jobs are in demand in your new abode? All right, because you may want to acquire further education, all right, or further skills, and you need to tailor those skills to your new education along areas in which there are vacancies, right, where there are job adverts. Okay, for instance, in Canada, in demand occupations, we include occupations in healthcare, including nursing, caregiver jobs, personal support worker jobs, medical laboratory technologies jobs. We also have a lot of in-demand job opportunities in social services, such as social worker jobs, youth care worker jobs, addiction support worker jobs, etc. You also have in-demand occupation jobs, including in fields like engineering and mining. Okay, so if you want me to do a new video for shining light on in-demand occupations in different countries that will interest migrants, okay, so you let me know in the comments below and I will bring in that to you. A fifth factor, which is very important, is the factor of networking. So this is the part where I tell you that the Imamad that we do in Nigeria is also relevant wherever you go. Okay, wherever you go, it's also relevant. In a highly competitive job environment where job is scarce or where there are so many people going for these jobs, it's covered that if you can get an edge, then it is good that you do. All right. So if you have somebody who can put in a word for you, so you're qualified, right? You are qualified. Not that you are not qualified. You're qualified by your experience, your education, all right, and your skill set. So what will give you an edge over the other 10 qualified applicants? It might be who you know, someone that can put in a word for you. So the importance of networking cannot be overemphasized. What am I saying? What I'm saying is this: you need to actively seek out opportunities to meet people who will put in a word for you. So where do you meet these people as a new immigrant? You can start from your church, all right? Go to church, participate in church activities, talk to introduce yourself to your priest, to your pastor. Okay, get to know the members of your church. You can volunteer. If there are things happening in your church that need volunteers, you can go ahead and volunteer. You meet people, you talk to them, you interact, you let them know. All right, this is where I'm at. Okay, and if they know places that are taking people, if they are well in positions to assist you in companies that you may be interested in, then they definitely be able to help you. Networking cannot be overemphasized when you are job hunting in this very highly competitive environment. So there are definitely more factors to discuss, as cultural fit. You need to understand the cultural environment of where you're going, visa and work permits that you have. Some jobs are open only to citizens and new immigrants. Other jobs are open to people who do not have visas, who have only work visas. Some are open to people who do not have work visas, and through that job they're able to get work visas. Okay, so you need to know the kind of work permits that you have, kind of immigrant papers that you have, also determine the kind of jobs you can apply for. They also have employment services. These are very important. When you come in, you need to, by interacting in groups such as the Black Immigrants Hub, okay, we're able to provide you with information about employment services that cater to the specific needs of new and landed immigrants. Okay, such employment services can help you learn skills that you need to get jobs, survival jobs, and even long-term jobs. They can point you in the direction of how to settle down generally. So these employment services, are very important areas when you are seeking for jobs in your newfound country. So professional development and other support systems, these are all areas that can be discussed in another video, because I would not want this video to be to go on for a very long time. So I will put cultural fits, visa and work permits, employment services, professional development, and support systems. Details on these next 5 factors will be discussed in a second video, looking at factors that you need to consider when you are looking for a job in your new found country. Those who have not done so yet, I invite you to take a second to like, share, and subscribe. Press the notification bell so that you're notified when I make a new video. Thank you very much. So before we end, I would like to invite you to subscribe to my new weekly newsletter, which is titled Your Health and You. So you have opportunity to gain useful insights from my over 20 years of medical practice experience from my home country. The registration for this free newsletter, is in the description below. Till I see you next week in my next video, is bye from me.